on to the much-awaited address for the day by none other than Mr. Gowthaman Ragothaman, popularly known as G-Man, founding CEO Aqilliz. So may I please have the honor, and because I feel really glad inviting him on stage, Mr. Gowthaman Ragothaman. He is going to talk on can India lead the cross-media measurement solution for the world. Please welcome. Give him a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Kalpana and Anil. It's a very important topic in the industry today, across the world, not just in India. Cross-media measurement solutions essentially is about how do we allocate monies across multiple platforms on a simple, single platform, because monies are already split across search, social, mobile, television, linear television, OTT platforms. But if you ask a planner, which I was one for a long period of time, how do we allocate the money between 2 or 3 channels? It was very easy earlier. There is one NRS report, and there's one TV station's TRP ratings, and you can easily allocate monies between channels and programs. But today the world has changed. There are multiple platforms. All across the world, the industry is grappling with this particular solution about how do we measure multiple platforms in one common indices. And the question which I'm trying to put it across is, can India lead this project from this part of the world instead of traditionally depending upon the West to tell us what to do in terms of our solutions? And there are 5 reasons why we can do it from here. I've intentionally kept it slightly provocative for the industry leaders here. I think if we can ask why not, then I would have done my job of provoking people on this. First reason, it's a very unique Indian market. As we speak today, we are the 9th largest advertising market in the world, but in the next 3 years' time, we will pretty much be on the top 5. And that includes US and China, and UK, France, and perhaps maybe India. We are the 5th largest advertising market in the world. And the world has already moved towards getting their own country to take care of itself. US, their own challenges, very unique from China, and in India and other markets. So we are already reaching a stage of not a global framework that can be applied everywhere. Each country needs to solve their own problem. So, and that is why I think our market is pretty unique in that sense, fastest growing. And as such, India is not a market like any other contiguous markets in the Western world. We are a nation of nations. There are multiple languages, multiple shades of penetration of television stations to other digital platforms. We call it as a nation of nations or multiple Indias within it. So it needs to be uniquely customized for our market. Technically speaking, it's no longer about lift and shift. That something is developed in the US and then we pick it up and apply it here. And as a planner, we have always customized the solution in the country here. We never used whatever was built anywhere else in the world. So it's time for us to also look at it and see what can we customize it from Indian market perspective on cross-media measurement. So that's the first point on how unique India is. Second is, unlike the developed markets, TV is still a growing medium in India. It just cannot be ignored. The West, the developed market like US or UK has already flipped past that. I don't think they really care about television as a medium. Whereas in our part of the world, in India, you still have close to 250 million homes by 2026, a linear TV market, and it is still growing. Even by 2025, 26, TV penetration will only be 76%. There's still a lot of headroom for growth. So it's going to be a market which is going to be running in parallel, television and digital, even though index is going to be on digital. So just cannot be ignored. Equally, most important point is the growing economy. TV is going to be the medium for communication and changing behavior. We just can't ignore that as well, right? So we are a very unique market where brand building on television and activation on digital is a nice combination, which are getting used to it. It's an important point to keep in mind compared to very other developed markets. And quite a few categories are yet to be built. We are still in category building mode in some sectors, right? So most important point is, more than any other market in the world, if somebody really wants to check TV plus digital, it is our country. And that's an important point to make. So if you juxtapose that with the top 5 markets, US, UK, China, Japan, and in India, they don't really bother much about TV plus digital. We as a nation should continue to bother about TV plus digital for some more time, and therefore, cross-media measurement is important for us in this, for us to drive it from our perspective. Third is a very unique one, which I'm very, very proud of. No other market can claim this big things we have done in the last 10 years' time. We march a very different digital beat today. The digital public goods infrastructure, huge differentiator compared to any other markets. Even developed markets trying to catch up with what we are doing, be it the India stack. We're extremely proud of what they have achieved today. UPI, Aadhaar, ONDC, Sehmati, absolutely fantastic technological developments. These changes very differently when it comes to some of the privacy concerns we have at this point of time today. Even the developed markets is still not passed an act. US is still having only CCPA as a California Protection Act. UK is still not made into a law, but India, effective August 2023, we have our own digital protection bill, which ensures that your data is protected, provenance is important, consent management important. And yesterday, the IT minister has already talked about the fact that better get compliant soon. In 30 days' time, the board is going to be formed, and therefore regulations is becoming very important. If that happens, privacy and consent management is a very key factor in measurement. So when digital platforms and linear TV platforms have to combine their data and offer the data for measurement, they need to be compliant in terms of impression logs, who watched it. Those things are very, very important. And therefore, it is important for us, for India than any other market, to be compliant, to talk about TV plus digital, and also to construct this framework very well. Third point. Fourth one is, interestingly, the global framework for measurement is already ready. So there is no need to reinvent the wheel. If those of you who are interested in cross-media measurement, you can just go to the WFA website, World Federation of Advertisers. They have already prepared this document, what they call as a Project Halo, a very well detailed construct to say how do we do this cross-media measurement. And in fact, they have open sourced it. You can go and download the script and start building your own cross-media applications. It's there in the page as well as in the GitHub document there. And all the leading markets are doing some trials today already. US is doing their own thing with Paramount, UK is doing with ISBA. But in my humble observation, India as a market has still not done a single trial as yet. I think the time is up right now for us as an industry body to see what we can do to at least start doing some trials, because we need it more than anybody else to come together to do this problem. And the big tech digital platforms, if you are questioning about will they join or not, at the global level, Google, Facebook, Meta, Snap, TikTok, all have agreed to this global framework to contribute the signals for measurement. So it's not that we need to do a heavy lifting of, hey, come on, let me just talk and try to bring you to the table. So the global framework is already ready. It's just that it is for us to see what we can do to get on board and act. Fifth important point is even more interesting. In India, we already have all the ingredients. In any other part of the world, the struggle today is, let me just form the joint industry committee. Where is the jig? Can they all come together? But in the case of India, we already have BARC as an industry body, which already represents IBF replaced of an ISA, which is WFA in this part of the world. So why are we waiting for what? Because you have the JAC, industry body is already there, the framework is ready. You need more than anybody else about TV plus digital, and is increasingly unique market for us. Why should we be waiting for what? And for us to, that's the question I wanted to put it across the table. And we already have TV panel. Interestingly, we already have a digital panel as well. It's just that we haven't brought it together. Most importantly, if we let this movement pass by, each and every digital platform is already building their own cross-media solution. So what will happen is quickly you will have multiple solutions talking about the same consumer, same measurement opportunities. So we have a huge opportunity if we can avoid duplication of our efforts and come together to sync up all initiatives to build under one agenda as a GAC or BARC or any other initiatives. So my humble submission is India is unique. We are a growing market. We will be top 5 or top 3 in the next 3 years' time. We have a seat at the table. We should not wait for global markets to tell us what to do. We should be doing it ourselves. We need it more than anybody else in terms of TV plus digital measurement. We are unique in terms of our digital technology and capabilities. Sahmati and production bill are very, very important. We can take care of our own selves in terms of provenance and consent management. Framework is already ready and we have all the ingredients. I'm just trying to summarize this into a simple chart which is there in the WFA website. It shows the framework, what is global, what is local, what needs to be done. And I'm prescribing in some form to say what needs to be done here, just do 3 things. Get the panel reconstructed. I'm sure there's a lot of debate that is going on at this point in time. But still, find a way in which the new panel is agreed on. Oscar is laughing. And get the commercial model right and ensure that you bring all the digital platforms to the same table because you have got all the ingredients in place. You just need to do these 3 things and we'll probably be leading the world in terms of setting up a pure and original cross-media measurement solutions in the country, which will probably be reflecting what we can do to the world because it's just like UPI. Everybody is now copying UPI across the world. I think there's everything we can do to ensure that we build this cross-media measurement solution that can take to the world. So it is our time, and I think I'll probably have 4 minutes. I want to keep it for Q&A, which is easy to answer some questions. The idea is to provoke. The idea is to push and check where we can go and what we can do and what we cannot do. Thank you for that. Yep. Sorry. Yeah, sure.
What do you think of Google or YouTube Reach Builder, which has a combined TV plus YouTube combined reach and frequency calculation, which is available from India?
I'm done.
Sorry, come again. Can you come again? Sorry, yeah.
What's your opinion on YouTube Reach Builder solution, which combines the TV and digital reach and frequency together and comes up with a more cross-media product? Sure. My name is Sumit. I work for an advertising agency.
Super. Thanks. So I think the question is interesting one. The answer is very, very simple. The important need for us in the country today is one universe to be used on which everybody can calculate the reach. If every platform like YouTube or every other platform starts building their own multimedia measurement solution on a different panel and on a different universe that is projected, then it is not comparable, which is why an industry universe is important. An industry panel that projects it to the universe so that everybody talks the same language, that when I say reach of 80%, on what base? That base can't be questioned. So if YouTube or anybody else is building their own TV plus digital builder, they need to use some industry base on which the universe is estimated, which is where the challenge comes in today because it's a question of your claim versus my claim, which is why in every market, the census calibrated universe is the starting point, and that is what the GIAC needs to do first. Otherwise, it's their claim versus my claim.
Various stakeholders. How is that consensus going to come about?
I'm sticking my neck out, Anil, on this. Just a couple of weeks back, ISA had a meeting, and they wanted to ensure that the WFA guidelines are brought to the country here. That's from the advertiser's side. They wanted to also speak to BARC and to the agencies. Agencies will work with the brands because they need to support what the brand's needs are. The broadcast body is already there and then talks to each other. In my view, it's just that they need to sit and agree on the commercial model and go-to-market plans. Everything else is there. We have a panel, and I know the panels needs to be expanded. There are some pressures that needs to be more representative of all the channels, which we should do. Once the commercial model is ready and what does it cost to go to market and what does it cost to measure, then it should not be a difficult one in my head. It is just that we need to just start acting.
No, I get that. But what do you need to get them to move forward? Do you need media support? What do you need to get them to move forward? Because this mess has been going on for, I think, decades. They said BARC would be a better replacement for TAM. Then they said there would be digital measurement by Nielsen, integrating all of this. TAM is doing its own thing for private clients. So what do you need to get this to move, the envelope to really move?
I don't have an answer, Anil. It's a matter of pride right now that we should do it first in the country. I think we have got all the ingredients in place. It's just that we need to move. And in my view, there are two or three triggers, let's say.
Yeah.
The trigger one is the data protection bill. That automatically ensures all digital platforms will start taking care of the third-party cookie deprecation, and therefore reach becomes a suspect. We don't know how to measure reach today. Reach is falling or not also, we don't know. So between two platforms, forget about TV coming in, two digital platforms I can't compare today. Between Facebook and Meta and YouTube, or between two digital platforms, we don't know the common measurement today. So the protection bill coming in, the deprecation of cookies will force measurement, will force reach, and therefore it's a question of time that they all come together.
I would also suggest you use media.
Yeah, that's right.
Put pressure. So you have a Ragothaman over here, you have Indian television, you have all the trade platforms.
Yeah.
Use media to put pressure and consistent pressure.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been here. Some of you who know me. I've been here. I moved on from India to Singapore, and I've come back after 10, 12 years. I'm watching this space right now, and the first thought that comes to me is that why aren't we doing it? What are we waiting for?
Because everyone's scared, yeah. They're scared.
Not me.
Broadcasters are scared. Advertisers are scared. Agencies. I'm sorry, Ragothaman, you're scared, I must tell you. All of them are scared.
The reality is whatever gets measured grows. So I don't think you should get scared about it. So
Aren't you scared, Ragothaman? Because, no. Because everything will get transparent, they'll get discovered.
That's right.
News is in a bad space, as is GECs, it is in a bad space.
Not
it
me.
is. And no offense meant to you as a partner. Yeah, overall, in a bad space, it's got a bad name for itself, and no, bad space. Not bad state. I said bad space. Because of the conflict that's going on.
Yeah.
I'm number one, I'm number one, I'm number one, I'm number one. And you have digital platforms which are claiming all kinds of things, and then you have Google News which is pushing out its own shit. Sorry about that. No offense meant.
Yeah.
So everyone's scared. How do we get rid of that fear?
See, that's why I said the global framework is already there. I mean, after a lot of debate and discussions, the industry body has come together to prepare the framework to measure. So it's not that we need to reinvent the wheel about methodology. There are some local market adaptations required, which is what the industry body should sit together and agree upon. Yeah.
Thanks, sir. Sorry for boring you guys.
No.
Everybody talks about digital measurement, but still haven't seen a framework for digital measurement.
Yes.
Again, everybody like news channel will say, we are number one, we are number one. I have so much of reach. How as a person, forget media, but as a brand, how would you even figure out how much reach you had in a certain time band or whatever?
It's an international bane today, Kalpana. Each digital platforms mark their own homework. They claim basis their own data, and under the need for keeping customer data private, it is individual respective platforms and their performance and the attribution that responds back to it. So every platform will say vis-a-vis whatever data you have given it to me and whatever spends you're giving to me, I can tell you you're getting better or not. But today we cannot compare two platforms because the data is not sharing, which is why the global framework talks about how do we share the data between multiple platforms. I can compare two platforms on the same space, which is where regulations come in and talk about privacy and how to manage this from a framework point of view. And that framework is available right now. This is what I'm saying. So it is globally available. It's up to us to use it.
Can regulation help? cross-platform measurement, can regulation be put in place for that?
Regulation can definitely help. I won't say no to it. I think it will boil down to how representative you want the measurement ingredients. The debate, okay, it's going to take time, Anil, but I'll still answer this question in a slightly more detailed manner. The debate is, when it comes to measurement, the biggest question is, should I have a panel or not? There is a divided view on panel versus non-panel based measurement, right? After a lot of debate, we conclude that the panel is required. It's the best way to measure. Then it is the question of, is the panel representative enough of the universe you want to measure? Which is where the challenge today we have, that some constituents believe that the panel is not representing that segment, right? So regulators can play a key role in agreeing on what's the optimal panel size that is representative of the universe. Then you know where to go next. I mean, I'm talking from where I stand, so I'm not talking about the industry point of view. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We would kindly request you to please stay back. And now I would like to invite Ms. Kalpana Ravi, Associate Editor, IndianTelevision.com Group, to please felicitate G-Man, who's there with us, for taking such a wonderful session. I hope you all have enjoyed it. What I hope, you must have enjoyed it. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out time for us and being a part of this session. Thank you.